I found myself communicating with others about my consciousness and things that are evolving, and I start saying I believe, and then I immediately transition into and shift and say, no, I don't believe. I actually don't believe anything. I either know a knowing, which is a divine download. It's divine information, and that is just a knowing that is clearer than any scientific formula that anyone can teach me. It's just a knowing from the source. It's a knowing from the source of whoever created the system that we're in, whoever designed it. And I started to think into why did I drop the idea, what's up with this belief? Like, why don't I believe? Why don't I base any of my information on belief? And why is it such a strong consciousness that the belief exited? Like, there's no more belief. The belief concept cannot be trusted anymore. And this is something that I didn't learn. It's something that has been happening over time to my feelings and sensations from divine consciousness and processing of us being a collective consciousness. And so what I noticed, that what I observed, I started observing this non-belief system that I suddenly found myself in and acquired. And what I noticed is that the reason the belief was dropped is because, once again, belief can't be trusted, because belief is a surrender to something that is intellectually taught. That, to my understanding, is something that cannot be trusted fully. Something that is acquired through intellectual learning, logic, is to me something that cannot be fully surrendered to and trusted. Yet the knowing that comes directly from the source, the awakening, the consciousness that is aligned to the entire universal consciousness of the presence, is something that can be sustained and shared with others. Once again, it's not like something like a scientific formula. Doesn't have to be believed. You can go through it yourself, figure it out. But if you don't figure it out yourself, it's got to be believed. But even then, even if you figure it out yourself, it's still not super consciousness. It's still not actuality. And it's still some sort of belief. Because that formula has been formulated by, a mathematician. So what I'm saying is that there is a certain knowing that is deeper than any sort of intellectual belief that one can ever attain. And we as a human species are getting there. So I know that our evolution and collective shift of the DNA what they taught us, that you can't rely on the heart because the heart is impulsive, is just the opposite. Because the authentic, the real encyclopedia of the GPS of everything in this life, the success in this life. And success, I'm not talking about acquiring of materialism, as they call it, although that's a complete different subject. Because materialism, I personally know and feel. See, I almost said belief, but it's not coming from a belief, because it's not coming from intelligent or intellectual acquiring. I personally know that it's actually a beautiful thing to live a life of materialism. What we were taught as materialism is actually spirituality, which is a good sex, good partnership, being able to travel and see the world, wear things that make us feel good, not the human, but wear things of the spirit. So what we call materialism is an acquiring of things that doesn't enhance our life. It just fulfills the wanting, the human wanting, and there's no end to the human wanting. What does the wanting want? You try fulfilling, there is no. So, yeah. Anyhow, I love you all. A little bit of my insanity delivered to you.